That's good.
Oh man.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Again, we thank everyone for joining this morning. As we come to a conclusion of the month of May, here these next few days. These days and weeks go by so fast, but at the same time, it's enjoy every moment. And as we primarily talk about safety on these calls, it just actually reaffirms that while we should be safe on a consistent basis, make safety a part of us and not just a segment of us, and try to do everything we can right all the time, especially in regards to safety and making good, smart decisions on the road. And we thank you for your efforts, especially those that are new, as you join the team. We really prioritize safety in everything that we do, and we make safety very important as part of the culture. But at the same time, it always comes down to actions and decisions, and that's what we like to talk about in these calls. It's a forum for you to ask questions, glean information and expertise from individuals that have been in the industry for a long time, seen it all, uh, and have been on committees and stuff like that, that can share information and best practices that are in the industry. And if you ever need to even talk off this call, we're always here, and we can get information that you may need. But this time, we'll go ahead and get started. We have David that's going to kick off our safety call, and then we'll show a video at the end. And if you have any questions, just unmute yourself and feel free to ask. David?
Good morning, everyone. Hope everybody's safe. I want to talk this morning a little bit about following distance. 70% of accidents are distance related. That sounds like sounds like a huge number, but it is. 70% of accidents are rear ends. And the reason for that is because people are not maintaining following distance. Okay. The time it takes to stop is a combination of three things. One is recognition that you need to stop. Two is your reaction time. And three, the actual brake time, how long it takes for the brakes to do what they do, and then stop the vehicle. Okay. One of the things, okay, recognition. Let's go back to the first part. Recognition. What's involved in why and how you recognize that the situation you are in is one in which you need to brake. The things that can interfere with that, one of those is distractions. And we've had this discussion before about all the little things that you can do while you're in the truck, being distracted by signs or coffee or meals or whatever, all those things. So cutting down on distractions can help you recognize when it is you need to be braking. Another one is fatigue, lack of sleep, both of those. You should be coming to work rested and ready to go. And you should be making sure that in your hours of service that you do rest and sleep. And this is an important thing. Lack of sleep is equivalent to having 2 drinks within an hour. You're just as dangerous not sleeping rather, than you are if you were drinking on the road. I'm gonna hold on to that for a second. Just get that in your mind. Lack of sleep is just as dangerous as drinking on the road. And to some extent, it's a little more dangerous because you cannot make up a lack of sleep. All the things that people say you do when you're feeling sleepy, and that is you pull over the side of the road, roll down the window, drink coffee, walk around. It doesn't eliminate that. The only way to eliminate lack of sleep is sleep. Okay. Because what happens is now, in terms of recognition, is people go into a thing called microsleep, and that is you can go to sleep for half a second or 1 second and actually not be conscious of it. I can remember coming home one day after I'd been on the road, and I was driving home, and I sat at the stoplight, and somebody blew the horn behind me. Well, the light had changed, and I didn't even know. That's microsleep. Now, fortunately, I was not far from my house to get there, but I'd been on the road for a long time, and I was actually driving home for a long time. So that's a microsleep. It can happen anytime. And so it's as much an issue as the distraction is. So that all of these things can affect your recognition. Lack of sleep can also affect your reaction time. The time it takes you to, after you recognize that you're in a situation where you need to brake, it can affect your reaction time it takes you to actually put your foot on the brake. Now you may think, oh, that's not going to be an issue. It is an issue. It's the same issue as if you had been drinking. If you've been drinking, you are delayed in the time it takes you to, your brain telling your foot, okay, put on the brake. And it can be as much as a second. And a second can make the difference in an accident or a serious accident or no accident at all. The last one is braking time. The time it takes you once you react to actually have the vehicle stop by brakes. Okay. That's all contingent on the braking system, your tires, the surface that you're on. And one of the things that affects that immediately, and especially now, is rain. Rain on a smooth road, a smooth surface, can have you hydroplaning very quickly. And hydroplaning is when the tire loses contact with the surface that you're riding on. And it doesn't take much at all. It can be just a wet road. I had a driver that was involved, I think I told you about that, was involved in a deadly accident last January, not this January, but the January before that. And he actually saved lives because it was nighttime and it was raining, and he, in the rain, was only doing 45 miles an hour. And all the vehicles that were passing him, the NTSB says, were doing 70 miles an hour. 70 miles an hour in the rain. So when he came upon this other vehicle that was blocking the road, he was able to stop the vehicle because he was only doing 45. And at the time he actually had impact with the vehicle, he was only doing 12 miles an hour. So this is why you have to really pay attention in the rain. Hydroplaning on a smooth road. Another thing on a wet road is there's puddles. There's no road is smooth in the United States. I've been on the Autobahn in Germany, and their roads are smooth. There's no ups and downs. There's no bumps, nothing. But in the United States, all of our roads have places where water can collect. And if you happen to hit a combination of places where water collects or can pool up, then you can definitely hydroplane. So when you are driving down the road, you need to be really aware of all of these things and maintain a following distance. Now, how do you know what a good following distance is? Well, you should be in a position where you can see the traffic ahead of you. If you're up on somebody, another truck maybe, and there's you can't see past them because it's called the billboard effect, where you have a billboard in front of you, then you're too close. Okay, I've seen many trucks doing that because the driver either is not aware about following distance or they're just going to follow this person into the hole. Okay, And by the time they don't even have time to react, if there is a sudden braking. So you should be back far enough where you can read the traffic ahead of you. You need to be back far enough so that you can read brake lights of vehicles past the vehicle you're following. Okay? And another way to do that is to find a post or a sign or something along the side of the road, and when that truck or passenger car passes that sign or post, count 1001, 1002, 1003. If you are at that same post before 1003, then you're too close. It needs to be at least that long. Okay. Now, if it's raining, that should double. It should be 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006. When I train my drivers, one of the things that I explain to them, and they've gotten to the point now where they figured it out, but this is for their life, their safety, for them to get home. And the few seconds that it takes you to back off on the road is not worth it. It's really not. Safety should be your number one item while you're behind that wheel. You carry the life of your co-driver, the lives of other people on the road, and yourself. And that should be number one all the time. So recognize that you need to pay attention while you're driving, minimize your distractions, get plenty of sleep, and rest. Pay attention to what's going on all around you all the time, and be ready to react. In other words, anticipate. You should be, at this point, a professional driver where you're coming down next to a ramp or close to a ramp. You can look at the traffic and go, well, this truck is going to do that. And you should be able to either move over or slow down or get out of the way of that vehicle ahead of time. So that is why you pay attention. One of the things that the last time we talked, one of the things that I was remiss in giving you this information, maybe I was, I'm not sure, but there are 3 times when this ability to pay attention to what you're doing while you drive becomes critical and becomes lax, believe it or not. It's a new driver. The driver is fresh on the road. He's got so many things going on in their brain in terms of being able to recognize what's going on, being able to pay attention to what's going on, that they miss other things because they're busy with one thing and they forget the other. Okay. The second time is 5 years experience. 5 years experience. It's, I got this. I can do this with my eyes closed. I know what to do. I know when to do it. I've been doing this long enough. I'm okay. Okay. The next period is 15 years. And part of the reason why I mentioned is I've got a 16-year driver with me who has had 2 minor bumps this year. Now, you may think, that's not a big deal. It's not a big deal that he had these 2 little minor things. But it is a big deal because the video shows in some respects, he's really not paying attention. He's been doing this so long that he's not paying attention. And so I recognized that. I had a conversation with him and said, this is what's going on with you. Now, nothing serious happened, but it could be happening. You have to tighten up your game. Okay, that's all I have for this morning. If anybody has any questions, I'm open to that.
If anyone has questions, just hit the unmute button. All right, I'm going to share a video to go along with what David was saying. Switch over here. Has to do with the following distance as well.
Vehicle to a stop is directly tied to how fast you're going when you need to stop. The complete process of stopping a commercial motor vehicle, or CMV, can be broken into 4 separate actions: perception of the need to stop, reaction, or taking physical action to stop your vehicle, brake activation, or the time needed for all of your vehicle's brakes to engage, and deceleration, or the process of your vehicle slowing to a complete stop. At first glance, it might seem like these actions all occur at the same time and don't have a real impact on your stopping time. But a closer look reveals how each action stacks up. It typically takes around 1.75 seconds for an alert driver to perceive the need to stop. The driver's reaction takes another 0.75 to 1 second. The brake activation time takes another 0.5 to 0.75 seconds. Altogether, the times add up to between 3 and 3.5 seconds before the vehicle actually begins to stop. That might not sound like much, but at 55 miles per hour, you're moving at more than 80 feet per second. In the time it takes you to perceive the necessary stop, you've advanced approximately 142 feet. Your reaction time covers another 80 feet before you begin to engage your brake. Because your brakes need time to activate, your vehicle continues another 60 feet before deceleration begins. The distance traveled before your vehicle begins to slow down totals 280 feet. Once the brake fully activates, your vehicle requires an additional 200 feet to decelerate to a stop. The combined stopping distance is approximately 480 feet, extending from the point of perception to a complete stop. This is the equivalent to the distance of roughly 1.5 football fields. An excessive traveling speed, such as 75 miles per hour, will result in stopping distances equal or greater than 2 football fields. Speed management is especially vital when conditions are less than ideal: inclement weather, heavy, unconventional, or difficult loads, and challenging road features affect your ability to stay in control and safely stop your vehicle.
So in that illustration in this video, it kind of breaks down just between the time of recognition and then the actual coming to a complete stop. It's when you see it like that, it's amazing to think that that's how long it actually takes. And then two, the other thought is, especially if traffic is coming to a stop, and if you're distracted at the time of the traffic stopping, you actually have less time to actually bring the truck to a stop, and that's where usually these problems occur. Um, I think it was a few months ago when we were showing the videos of, I think it was there in Texas when, I mean, you had probably hundreds of vehicles just crashing into each other because people couldn't stop because of the ice. And early in the morning, I think it was, so it was still dark. But just a tragic event that occurred, but how easily, the truck got away from people, cars got away from people, and so just a good reminder. Um, a good following distance is so important, and it's okay to even exaggerate that and be farther back than you need to be, or customarily, especially in certain parts of the country, certain freeways. I know here in Southern California our freeways are so bad that always a great idea. And then two, with cars coming in and out of lanes that force you to react, having that extra space and cushion is a great characteristic to have and to follow on a daily basis. Um, but good information today. Does anybody have any questions or anything to take part in? Has anybody been in situations where it has caused them to have more distance on the road because of close calls? Have a shy group today. But Xenia, if you have anything else for the group?
No, I just have well, yes, I think that we need to, as you say, we need to take in mind and consider the traffic and the road where we are traveling to in order we can make good decisions and trying not to stop like last minute. So that reaction time, it's very important to save us from a rear end collision. Okay. For the agenda, I think the FedEx update, let me pull my agenda here. Oh, you have them there. They are mentioning that the seatbelt in having tickets and accidents in construction zone is still #1 concern for them. So they are inviting all drivers to be aware to always use the seatbelt when you're on the road so you can avoid any ticket. The DVIR document in the tractor, we are inviting everybody to complete that. Do not go out as road inspections are increasing. Do not take risk and provoke an inspection. Make sure you complete that. Make sure the mechanic certified it's in good standing, the equipment is in good standing to go out. Take the time and then give us a copy. It is signed with by the mechanic, and we're giving some compensations about that. They are also, FedEx is saying that especially for teams, make a thorough inspection before you start going out, and then every 24 hours, make sure you complete another inspection. And let us know if there's something we have to target in the tractor. Let FedEx know if there's something they have to target in their equipment. Improper assembly is still a concern at many hubs. So they are saying make sure that you're inspecting the equipment completely, that they don't have worn parts, no missing parts. If something is damaged, just put the red tag, let them know. Do not use an equipment that it's not 100% good to be used, okay? And take a pictures. We're always inviting you to take a pictures of your coupling, of the handler. They are saying that look at the handler, look at the arm, that it's in place. So take precautions and don't take any risk. And then for us, for Lugmo, vacations are still out there, and some of you are being working, especially with the COVID, are being working nonstop, and you really need that time off. Please let us know that, because you deserve that time. And the camera red button, we want to go back and invite you. If there's an issue in the road, please, as soon as you stop and it's safe, click and push that red button. And that way we can have a camera footage of what happened, or if we need to find a video, we can do it faster. And camera is there for your protection, okay? So in the event of an accident, any issue on the road, make sure you press that button. And also, if there's any accident, remember, even if you're not at fault, you have the accident package report document in your binder. Make sure that you complete that, okay? And take as many pictures as you can. Okay, so thank you so much again for everything you guys do. Be safe, don't rush. If you guys have any question, we're open to questions. You know, we're always a phone call away. So that's all I have, Aaron.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. We appreciate your time. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.